just going to look at the lambda functions in Python. So now um, lambda functions gives us the ability to write anonymous functions. So functions that will be used on the go. Okay, so function that will not be used in our code or in our program. Function that we write once and will not be used again. So let's see. We have written functions above using the function keyword, the function headers, the docstring, and also the function bodies. Okay, so there are quicker ways to write on the fly functions in Python. Okay, and they are also known as lambda functions. Now they are also referred to as anonymous function. Sometimes we can use the um, keyword lambda to write search function. Now the syntax of the lambda function is as follows. Okay, so we have the lambda keyword, we followed by the argument given and a colon, then we have the expression. Now let's see what this argument and expression means. Now the argument in the lambda function here represents the parameter, okay, or the parameters, and the expression here represents the function body. Okay, now let's take a quick example. Now let's say we want to write a function that takes a number and squares it. Okay, so we have our def keyword, we have our function name square, we have a one parameter that is num. Okay, then we are simply going to have a result that is going to store this result. So we have num multiplied by num, so it's going to square the number and just return the result. Okay, now what we can do is that we can, when we call this function over here, that's let's say square. Okay, square, and we pass in, let's say 10, we're going to get 100. Equally, when we pass in, let's say 6, we're going to get 36. Okay, now we can also use the lambda function to write the same function over here, but this lambda function is not going to be, it's just going to be an anonymous function, a function that is just going to be used once. Okay, so here we can also declare a variable called, let's say let's say square. Okay, let's say square underscore 1, then we have the lambda, okay, keyword, then we have the argument, that is the number, and the function body is going to be the number times the number again. Now when we call the square 1, okay, and we pass in, let's say 2, we get 4. Okay, and equally when we pass in 4, we get 16. So this code here is similar to this code over here. Now let's look at a practical example over here. So assuming we want to write a lambda expression, or we want to write a function that is going to take this list and sort them. Okay, and we want to sort this list using we want to sort the list. Okay, we want to sort this list using the second number in this tuple. So we want to sort this list based on the second one. So what we can do is that we can just call the sort. Okay, so call the sort method, and now the sort method takes in a function, or it takes in a function that is going to use to sort this item. So we can pass in the key and give it a lambda. Okay, then the lambda, what is going to happen is that we are going to give it an x. Okay, and the x, we want to sort the x based on the second parameter inside the x, so 1 over here. So I want to sort that one, and over here, let's see. So when we run this code, okay, let me say when I print the a, okay, we're going to see that we have so this was it. So we have it sorted here. So we have the -1 coming first, we have the 2 coming second, we have the 3 coming third, and we have the 9 coming last. So we sorted this list using the second numbers in the tuple. Okay, we know that -1 is the least, so it will just bring this whole tuple first, and the 2 is the second, so it's going to bring this tuple second, and so on. Now let's write another function. Okay, so another way for us to also use the lambda function is a scenario where we want to write a function. So we want to write a function that is going to increase a number, so make incremental. Okay, So now over here, what I'm going to do is that we are going to increase a number by the factor that we give. So inside this function, we're just going to pass in, let's say 12. Okay, now I'm going to return a lambda function. Okay, a lambda function that has a parameter x and only one parameter. Okay, then we take in the x plus the number that we want to increase it. Okay, so let's say we want to increase by 15. So when I come here and I say so let's say f is equal to make incremental, then we pass in, let's say 15. Okay, but over here let's pass in the n, this n over here. Now we know that this make incremental returns a function. Okay, so we can say that we want to print the f, okay, and pass in, let's say 5, so which is going to be 20. So when I run this, I'll get 20. So when I pass in this 5 to this lambda function, I want to increase it by 15, and we see that here we didn't need to write another function inside this function. Okay, so this is where the lambda function plays a major role. Okay, we can also print another example and say f, then we pass in 20. When we run this, we see 25. So this 20 plus this incremental, which is 15. Okay, now let's see another example over here. So here we want to also sort this list. Okay, we want to also sort this list by the second value in the tuple. Okay, so what I can do is that I can just call pairs, okay, dot sort. So dot sort, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it the key, and I'll pass in a lambda function. Okay, lambda function, that is, let's say x colon, I want to sort it based on the second one. So now when I come down and I print my pairs, okay, we will see that it has been sorted. So f comes before o, so we see that this has been sorted correctly before this, and before that. So it has been sorted successfully. So in a case where we also have this pair over here, okay, this pair over here, let's say pair, just like that, and let's say we had 10, and let's say we had 2, and we had 17, and here we had 4. Okay, so what is going to happen is that we can similarly write this same function over here, sorting the first one, okay, that is 0. Now when I come down here and I print the pair, okay, and I come down here and I print the pair, I'm just going to have the pair sorted using the number. So we have 2 is the smallest, 4 is the second smallest, 10 is the second smallest, and 17. So this has been sorted correctly. So the place where the lambda function shines much is where we have the higher order functions, which is the map, the filter, the reduce. Okay, so that is what we're going to use. We're going to learn next. That is what we're going to learn next. Okay, the higher order functions. That is where we're going to use this lambda functions more. Okay, so we'll be using the lambda function to write functions that will be used to produce a new array or filter the array. Okay, so guys, go through this tutorial. If you don't understand anything, make sure to leave a message in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys in the next tutorial. Bye.